How's it going, everyone? And welcome to another Print Cope edition of No Excuses on YouTube.com. The favorite show hosts are still.
And Vaul, I'm here to bring you guys news and commentary on the video games industry for the week. A very happy Easter to all of those in the Western tradition celebrating the resurrection of our Lord. To those in the Eastern tradition, just hang on, Pascha's in another few days. To those in the those who are atheists, who are spreading the meme yet again this year that Easter is actually pagan, you're dumb and the fedora you're wearing makes you look dumb. To the neo-pagans also spreading the legend that Easter is actually pagan, you're dumb and the hammer you're wearing around your neck makes you look dumb. And to all of those loopy American Puritans who are also spreading the meme that Easter is actually secretly pagan, you're dumb and you should stop trying to get your ecclesiology from atheists and neo-pagans.
Offending people already.
Well, they tried to offend us first.
True.
They opened this salvo. We're just returning fire.
And I'm going to punish them by continuing to show this incredibly cursed screenshot.
It's the same every year. They trot out the same arguments every year, and none of them make any sense. Because like I mentioned, Easter in the East is called Pascha. It used to be called Pascha in the West as well, but Easter is just the Germanic word for Pascha. It's not tied to any weird pagan crap. It never has been.
Yeah, you can't just pull pagan traditions that happen roughly around the time of the year and say, oh, Easter was totally this, which seems to be their entire argument half the time.
Oh no, it's winter, guys. But yeah, this is the same sort of... You see this about lots of topics online where people sort of invent a mythology behind some phenomenon and then they will just distribute it. And because of the free exchange of the internet age's information economy, so, things that are entirely fabricated can be rapidly propagated as truth, like the idea that you can protect yourself from viruses by wearing 2 masks.
Anywho, shtick.
If you'd like to get involved with the show, you can do so by sending us email at noexcusesvtw@gmail.com, or you can follow us on the Twitter at noexcusesvtw, or you can join us in the Discord server and talk to the show hosts and other listeners to the show anytime you want, and post spicy memes, and look at our spicy memes, and look at us despairing over the constant advance of age. You can do so by clicking on the link provided in the show description underneath the show archive on YouTube.
Ooh. What are we actually going to do today?
Well,
why are you such an edgelord?
Well,
my goodness.
This is one thing I did this, is I started to really push my Dark Knight and actually went in and started grinding trusts. Part of grinding your trust is, of course, making sure your glamour is on.
I need to find an edgelord glamour, but I don't think I've got one.
This is about as edgy as I could possibly make it.
This will do. I'll go with this. The Sith Lord glamour.
I think this is the edgiest glamour I got.
I think for you that is edgy.
It's pink.
It's still pink.
I mean, at least my Reaper has a chainsaw, although I look like I'm trimming the hedges, not about to go cut some heads off or something.
It's like the Barbie garden care playset.
Look how pink my scythe is. Isn't it cute?
I mean, chainsaw, yes. I just got the tweet.
I do like my Dark Knight sword, though. Yeah, on your character, it's absolutely massive.
Oh, yeah. And it still clips through the floor.
I want to glamour this to be
Fortunately,
a bit more.
It doesn't.
Right, I've glamoured mine to be more the sort of size that a character my height could wield.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the biggest sword that I think I could get on my tiny little girl.
I think there might be a couple that are bigger, but not many.
Also, female Makode have the definite best idle pose for Dark Knight with the sword plant in the ground.
That is a cool photo.
I thought every race uses the same one.
I think they do,
Oh,
but
yeah, maybe.
it's gender specific. But
Yeah, guys, the girls.
but the Mikode have the happy smirk going on when they do it.
Yeah.
At least the Sun Mikos do.
Oh, yeah.
I think my character's smirking. My character's relatively expressionless, so it's kind of hard to tell.
Yeah, likewise.
I have very full lips, so when my mouth does something that's very, very obvious on my character.
Actually, looking at your character, Vault, it looks like trying to murder somebody with you.
Looks like you're very fascinated by, like, the pommel of my sword or something, where your character's looking.
Down on it. The other way, Fairy.
So yeah.
But yeah.
So yeah.
Dark Knight, the second edgiest character at this. I just had to make sure I had.
I go out of my way to de-edgify the edgy classes.
Yeah.
Hence the giant pink chainsaw.
Yeah. So yeah, it's been a fun week. Yeah, just sat down the last couple of days and just pretty much nothing but getting my Dark Knight up to 82.
You can now take it into Eureka Orthos.
Can go to Eureka.
And I actually have a save slot because I crashed and burned at floor 94.
Yeah.
It was honestly, I'm not that hurt by it. I expected it.
Yeah.
I was running low on gas, and then just the only thing I got was intuitions.
Yeah. 100 floors of Eureka Orthos is a...
Oh, I know what I'm doing now. I was running behind on time, so I had to blow a whole lot more palms in the 80 to 90 set because I wasn't familiar with trash yet. So I had to blow more palms than I really wanted to. So I didn't have very many going into the 90 set to really go ham with.
Yep.
And then at 94, I just ran out of gas and got hit by something I really shouldn't have.
That's going to happen.
But now that I know the trash, I can probably do it. If I can get another run going as good as I had the last one, I think I've got this.
Yeah. Final Fantasy, laughing at ghosts. Actually, that later. Oh boy.
Do you want to show off some part of your week with your house?
Yeah, let's do a station.
Plot 23 to your house. Let's see what you've done.
Oh, I can't mooch, can I? What a
No,
pain.
not for a.
You have to invite y'all to a group anyway.
I don't have any glamour dispel as I'm stuck like this.
So yeah, haven't done much outside except for being retainer there.
If you take that pig head off that retainer, holy crap. You have the ugliest Lalafell I've ever seen.
I made it years ago, and I think all I did at that point was just hit random and okay without looking at it. I did not care.
At some point, you need to remove that pig head and show the audience, because it is truly amazing how ugly you made this Lalafell.
Listen. Ugly people are needed in this world for attractive people to look attractive by contrast. They fulfill a very important role.
But right now,
my retainer,
the role he's serving is wearing a pig's head. We can promote my barbecue restaurant.
Yes. So, like,
I immediately thought of what's his name, the pig from Dragon Ball, and Dragon Ball Z, just saying, "I'm delicious."
So yeah, I did a bit of a play around in here. Upstairs, I'm basically tat around the place. I think. No, this sort of place, it needs tat. Lots of it.
I can't tell if this is supposed to be a bar or a 50s diner.
Somewhere in between. Downstairs, I've been playing around with all the naked mannequin in the. I got my bathroom largely done. One or two.
Oh, is that why its face is all left up? It's supposed to be a mannequin?
Yes. But it has no face. It looks weird, doesn't it?
Oh, it says mannequin on it. Okay.
Yeah. Except for the bit where it says mannequin, it is a mannequin. And it has
I
no
thought
face.
I thought my graphics were just messing up here, and you had a retainer down here or something.
Hey, cross containers.
Yeah, you don't think you can either. I don't think you can have retainers inside.
You can't do that. Although you can make your retainer sell items through a mannequin. Haven't played around with it too much. I need to get some cheap gear, glam it, and put that on your retainer. And
Yeah.
I have to play around with it.
Oh
So,
my goodness, the camera just wigs out in here.
It does, doesn't it?
I have my camera pretty far zoomed in, so
I think there's a
right
few
now.
spots I need just to put something, cover a black wall. That.
Yeah. Just find fun stuff or bath towels or something.
Yep. And I made a start on the bedroom, but which also makes the camera wig.
Yeah, you're gonna have Wigan cameras. You'll have to play zoomed in your bedroom a little bit.
Yeah.
I have to do it in mine too because walls aren't really walls sometimes. And they don't stop the camera. They just don't stop the camera.
Seems to. Oh, actually, for once it's going to not clip.
It's
Although,
Wednesday evening. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say, when you turn it to edit mode, all bets are off. That camera just does whatever it wants.
Yeah, you gotta pre-place yourself before you go into edit mode. Otherwise, you're gonna fall through crap when you're floating stuff like that. So on Wednesday, you came on the Discord briefly, and for about an hour or two, and we helped you get set up with making Yoshi P cry.
Yeah. You installed some mods, and download tool and the burning down the house mod means you can actually do stuff.
Yep. You no longer need me and Abo to come scooch stuff for you.
Yeah, and
Or
listen,
clip,
a lot of the
clip
time
stuff.
it's like all you want to do something, just scooch a thing, maybe a tiny little bit.
Or just clip something into something a little bit because it needs to sit flush against the wall or something.
Yeah.
And you just can't do that normally.
I can't
Your
do that.
lizard is cute, but why does she keep bowing?
No.
Oh, because she's a maid. The maids bow whenever you
They
run
just bow.
behind.
I still don't know where I can try to put the maid. Completely out of place no matter where I put her. I can try to change it over to the eastern one, but I think that one's just as out of place.
I just put her behind the desk up here, next to the dude,
Yeah.
or have her waiting on tables here. Put her like right here or something.
Oh yeah. Like he looks like he's supposed to be here. Type of restaurant where the chef has never washed his hands. Perfect.
Yeah, like every
Building your
dive.
immune system.
Yeah, every dive diner, chef dude that I've ever seen. This is what that dude looks like.
Yeah. When I was just going through the NPCs and I came across that appearance and I was just like, well, damn, sold.
It exists for a reason. It's because that's how they look in real life. If you've ever been to a dive diner.
Yep. Sort of place where the gum comes already under the tables.
Yeah, this guy does not have a cleaning crew to come scrape the gum.
Yep. Not that
Diners
people put it
aren't
there,
really
it just
a thing in New
spontaneously
Zealand.
generates there.
They're not as big in the U.S. anymore, but we still have them. They're around.
Yeah, they're not really a thing. So.
Even pubs have sort of died out more or less here.
Yeah,
Like you
pubs.
can only really find them in very small localities. Like cities don't really have them because they've all tried to upscale into other things, which are generally horrible but still have sticky floors.
Oh man,
Also, I noticed. Backs the stabs.
there was not any happy stabby fun.
Stabbing.
You need to go in the cash shop and get the picture of the Aura girl having a very wet time.
Could not have phrased that word.
You could have phrased that better.
Yeah. That was a piece of phrasing.
Yes, that was the point.
Yes. So yeah, I'm happy with how this is.
So yeah, the mod making it bearable now.
Yeah, like I did most of the upstairs with vanilla, and that in some cases was pain.
Yeah, it's being able to punch in coordinates or just scooch in the rotate mode is so helpful.
Yeah, and sometimes it's a teeny weeny little bit, but come down here and this upstairs bedroom area.
Yeah,
is-
you would have to float literally everything if you did this normally, and that glitch is a pain in the butt.
Yeah, and it just takes so much work. Here, I can just place it down on the bottom floor. Up.
Yeah, just float it.
Usually does mean I need camera shenanigans so I can actually see. Besides that, because generally my character will be down on the bottom floor. You can't see anything. And half the time, you place an item and it ends up on the bottom floor and you can't down there as well.
Yeah, well, you can select it out of the list, but it's a bit of a pain.
That's also a water bill.
Oh, I did that.
Why?
You're to the right unattended.
Runs back in, turns the shower back on. Again. Ah, screw it.
Well, now I want to turn it off.
Yeah, I'm still deciding what I want to do with the living. I like the kind of way the chair, although
I think you could get away with you could get like a South Seas corner couch, maybe a long armchair to fit here, and maybe you could put like a fireplace or a mantle back here behind the sitting area or behind the TV area.
elves and cover them with.
Yeah,
You
or
get out of
actually,
my cash register. Can actually play with it. And
well, you've got him distracted.
Not-
I'll turn his water
not for
bill back
long.
up. I'll raid his pantry down here. You don't have anything down here for me to raid.
no, I don't.
All I can do is run your water bill up.
Small act of evil. Display flowers. What kind of none because I don't have any. Flowers would be out of place here anyway. And
Yeah. So yeah, your house is coming together.
really good looking.
Yeah, he's a cool fish. I guess we could show off the floor plan we've got working with the guild house. We still got a lot of things to.
Really looked pretty incoherent in there to me.
Well, we're making progress on ideas for a layout because that's the hardest part with these with housing in this game is figuring out how you want to lay the room out. Filling it with crap and making it work is the easy part, relatively speaking.
I want to do the bulk stuff first.
So we've got a hallway going back to the guild workshop. We kind of want to do that. Ava wanted to do a loft, so okay, loft. Not sure about the framing we got going here. I'm almost certainly going to remove this front part, and we'll find a different way to frame the top.
Flips into the chandelier, and that bothers me.
Yeah, we're almost certainly going to have to get rid of this one. But did Fern not make it?
No, I went into the workshop because
Oh, the submarine should be back soon, and I'm on the last piece of an airship just so we can have one. Yeah, I need to cram the remaining components in for the bottom for the last part of the airship. I've got in number 5 is random crap needed to do guild crafting.
Yep.
And stuff the submarine brings back.
That was left on that.
Yeah, so it'll be a little bit. No, don't put stuffed alpha. We don't need a stuffed alpha.
This sounds
This
like
is the way I clean out my
need stuff.
inventory.
Absolutely.
Stuffed alpha can go live. You can go live in slot 3. And so can the breadbasket.
Right. That's
So yeah, we're working on a layout here to figure out how we want to get the guild house. So interior of the guild house is making some progress.
yeah,
Not very much, but we got
railing or something. Fortunately, the closest you get to the railings is like half petition.
Oh, I can make it happen. You really don't. Yoshi P will really cry.
There's
But
a few things you can do, yeah, but yeah, Yoshi probably just
like take some piping that normally attaches to the wall and goes vertically and twist it sideways with a fake rotation
yeah.
using coordinate punching.
Don't do that.
Stuff like that. Oh, you can do it inside. I don't mind modding the heck out of the inside. It's only the outside I don't want to advertise that we're clearly using the mod.
Yeah, it's
And even then, we have people in our back home at the Goblet that have like the modded porch.
Oh, yeah.
The blatantly modded porch. I mean, you're not gonna get dinged for it, but I don't want it outside. I can do scooching outside, and I can do clipping, but I'm not gonna like make Heaven on High go float off into the stratosphere.
as that is.
Yeah.
I'd love to be able to make like be Heaven on Highs like that stacked on top of each other. That's getting a bit.
I could double it up probably. I could get. I think I could get away with that. It would look really wacky, but Heaven on High Heaven on High already looks kind of wacky. But I like where the yard's at least right now. I like our yard.
Oof. Bye.
You've solved the jumping puzzle.
Yeah.
You have no idea how big of a pain in the butt it was to twist this Heaven on High in such a way that it didn't clip hard into the fence and still had a jumping puzzle that lets you get onto the roof.
Yeah. I can imagine.
I was very careful with it when I twisted it that way. Of course, now I can't do it because I'm bad at video game, but so yeah. That's the state of our houses.
Mine's still untouched. I don't have the time to work on it.
Alright. Go do a thing.
Yeah, I have an open slot in Eureka Orthos if you want to preview 80 to 90 Dark Knight. That's a good place to do it.
Alright, that's...
What do I want to go as? That's the question.
Can I mooch from here?
Able to move from here. We're only going to Mordona. Salt and Darkness, I don't have a button for.
Okay, let's go to Mordona. Happy for machine it since I've been practicing with it the most. It's what I will get my solo clear on.
You've been up to, Vaul?
Nothing.
Yay.
Except working. I didn't even get a full weekend. I got part of my weekend. I was woken up on the second half of my weekend by my boss telling me that, we need someone to come in because there's nobody senior here. So, yeah. I'm furiously recruiting because we're in dire straits again. My best senior slipped a disc in her back, and she's now on like a 6 to 12 month path to recovery. So yeah, basically she's gone now. She resigned. Yeah. Things are rough for me. I don't have much to report. I haven't done anything except come home and then black out from migraine or whatever. Like that's
Make sure y'all got a slot open so I can send us in.
I don't actually know if I have a slot open. Talk to.
It's a cartoon.
Oh, I do have a slot open. It's fine.
Oh,
Okay, in we go.
edgy.
Yeah, so I don't really have anything to talk about because I wasn't really able to do anything this week. I wasn't able to go to any of the Holy Week masses except for this morning's. Basically, the whole week has been a write-off for me. I'm extremely tired. So is everybody in my staff. Everybody engaged in the traditional Maundy Thursday sample rush. So it was just generally a tough week, and I didn't have the energy to spare on anything. I've basically just taken a break from every kind of gaming over the past week, pretty much. I haven't played any FGO. I basically took the last half of the Akihabara event off, and I didn't participate in the hunting event at all. Didn't even attempt a single quest. Just didn't have the time or energy for anything. But yeah, ultimately we are just in need of getting our numbers up, so we just need to wait till recruiting is successful and then things will ease off. We do have a guy who's waiting in the wings to join the team, but he's sort of it's kind of pending. We've got a member of our field staff has gone on holiday back to Czechoslovakia. And so one of the new guys that we brought in is basically switched over to her role and is doing field work, which has just left us really skint in the lab. But, the field thing has to continue. We can't just not do it, especially considering those ones are typically associated with government contracts, which, as Aristeel knows, are a good way of bleeding money out of the government to make up for all of the taxes you have to pay.
That's how you get your tax money back.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I don't have anything to report, really. I haven't watched any of the new season's anime, and honestly, I'm not very motivated given the sheer density of incredibly banal, completely played straight isekai
There is
this season.
only one anime actually that caught my eye. That was an explosion on this wonderful world.
Yeah, the spin-off story for about Megumin. I
Yeah.
still haven't finished the books. I know that I think the story is finished for Konosuba, but I haven't finished it. The where I left off is basically Kazuma sort of gradually beginning to build the motivation to reform himself from being such a lecher.
He's actually going to become a decent human.
No, I don't think he's going to become a decent human being at all.
He's not gonna
In fact, I think the closing scene will probably involve him doing something incredibly indecent. But he does seem to have gradually become kind of sweet on Megumin, and despite his apparent reluctance to actually commit to anything because it seems like too much hassle to him, he feels like he's sort of responsible to do. He's got a responsibility to do so. So. I don't know where the story will go from there, though. The traditional thing for shonen heroes to do is to endlessly vacillate, but he doesn't seem very intent on endlessly vacillating, possibly because most of his party members are so screwed up.
Yes. We're going to start seeing exactly why Megumin's so screwed. In episode 1, introduced us to a school that seems to produce nothing but Shibios.
Oh, if you've watched the movie or read the books, then you'll know. I can't tell which direction it's facing. The movie, I went to see the movie at the cinema, which is sort of that's an exceptional amount of effort for me, and it should tell you how much I enjoy the franchise. But the movie explains a lot about the backstory for Megumin and what an absolute. It's not just her. It's all of the Crimson Demons are basically a race of Chunies.
Yeah.
And everything the one thing that you'll rapidly discover, and the same thing applies across the board. I think it might even apply in Isekai Quartet. is that everything that above a certain level of ridiculousness is the fault of the same guy, who is also an isekai guy, the one who created Mobile Fortress Destroyer.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah, it turns out he's basically behind everything. Like every stupid thing that happens, ultimately in some way is his fault for being useless. And the entirety of Mega Man's race is one of those things.
Yeah, except for Union.
Like except for Union, who's sort of like the black sheep of the tribe,
Yeah.
I guess.
It was good actually. What is everyone running around being weird and shoony, and is Union being just
Yeah, I suppose the weird thing about it is that she isn't really that popular with the fans, despite the fact that you would in a bygone era she would be a Moe archetype.
yeah.
But she's just not really all that popular. But I suppose it's part of her character to not really be all that popular as well. Hey, I got a Phoenix down.
Yay!
Except I've got a res spell this time, so it doesn't matter.
Yay!
Slightly repressed. Yay. It's just a little bit attenuated. But yeah, so I haven't watched any anime yet. I'm intending to watch that one when I get the chance, but yeah, I'm not in a big hurry.
First episode honestly doesn't go too far, so I want to just leave that and
Yeah, I'm not in a hurry with anything this season because honestly, it just none of it looks particularly.
oh yeah, the rest of it, everything else just
What a depressing spectacle it is. It's just oh man, anime has always been sort of like trash pop culture schlock for the most part, but
yeah.
it's just gotten so much worse.
Every now and again, you do get something that is genuine artistic.
If only by accident.
Sometimes it only.
We had a dudes to open the door with.
Yes. Run out of dudes.
It is not a very large level.
I didn't flight it. Oh, there's a dude.
Nope. I was hoping to find a summoning trap.
Why me?
I end up keeping.
Oh, Fern already enjoying his tank privilege.
Tank privilege does not apply to owls.
What? Oh, come on.
Oh, Fern, that's gonna kill you. Oh,
Remember,
okay.
server disconnect.
Yeah, I was like, you looked like you were in that hit to me. I'm like, oh man, he's screwed.
I was well. At least on my screen. I suppose one other little. I watched my brother play some owl raids while I trusts.
Wow, raids.
Yeah, that I saw absolutely nothing appear. Honestly, they all look like just a clusterfuck of mod prop-ups, prompts, alerts, ever-present guiding nipple of where the tank is.
Wait, what?
Everyone uses the circle, the orange circle for the tank. I don't know why, and I maybe just floating nipple. What it looks like.
Swingy swinge.
Got
I was trying to find a button on my bar. I was like, where the hell is that button? I haven't played this class in ages.
Oh,
It's like
yeah.
I just my eyes were completely fixed on my hotkeys. Like, where the hell is it?
Hinged.
The thing is that I'm playing Red Mage currently, and Red Mage was one of the earliest button layouts that I devised. So it's got the most drift from the way that I currently do things.
Might be time to sit down.
I think it's serviceable. It's just a matter of relearning it. I mean, Red Mage really doesn't operate in the way that any other classes do. So
Yeah, if you were a controller player and looked up my Red Mage bar, you would cry.
So granted, my Dark Knight bars.
There is no way not to have a messy Dark Knight bar.
yeah, Dark Knight is sort of like Dragoon in that you will never be satisfied with the way you've laid out your buttons.
As long as your 1, 2, 3 buttons are in the right place, I think.
Good grief! There's just no way not to get hit by that sodding thing, is there?
Darkest Night. I'm trying to find out exactly what oblation is. First time I actually
It
started to
is-
use it.
It's just a defensive ability.
It's just a baby cooldown that you can pop on the reg, or throw it, or you can throw it on your friend or your co-tank or something.
Yeah, it's one of the things that you'll be using to help out your co-tank a lot.
Yeah. That's what it seems like to me. It's co-tank.
Not that we do any content that requires you to help your co-tank in any way.
Yeah. And I'm not likely to be tanking it.
Nope. I don't care about that room.
What have you been doing?
This week, not a lot. This week has been quite the pain in the rear. I was sick, horribly sick on Tuesday with a over 100 fever, and was just in general having a bad time. So on Tuesday, I didn't do anything at all, and on Wednesday, I was on the mend on Wednesday and was recovering fairly quick, but all I did was kind of get on and do a little bit of the housing stuff we showed off in Final Fantasy, and as you can see, it didn't amount to very much. With me and Abo sitting down and poking at the floor layout a little bit for the inside of the what you call it.
A little bit of progress. The only one seems to have actually done anything this week.
Yeah, so that's how things went for a good portion of the week. The what else did I do this week? I didn't do anything in Final Fantasy. I just I haven't. It has not been a very Final Fantasy week. Pinecone was dead, and continued to.
You continue to advance through the stages of grief.
No,
no, he doesn't. That's the problem. He's not.
Here's the problem with that. The stages of grief kind of got effed up. Like, normally it'd be sad, the Pinecone's gone, and I'd be stuck on that phase about right. No.
Oh.
Every time I get to maybe it's time to move on to depression, no, we back that truck right back up and go right back to anger.
The whole thing just.
Yeah, it is. I am rather impressed with myself just how long I managed to stay angry at Crunchy. It just, it feels so bad. So instead, I've redirected my my energy towards trying out a new mobile game, just to try something on a whim. It doesn't fill the same niche as Pinecone. It probably could if the loading times were a bit better, but it has really bad loading times, which is the big thing that's making it not a candidate for filling the same role as Pinecone, I think. And that's Blue Archive. Because I'm already on every government watch list already. What's one more?
Message I got from you when you said you were playing this game was this shows the timing right because the game has cheerleaders.
That was the entire reason I downloaded the game. I knew Blue Archive had been mentioned. I'm gonna check for silver chests.
All right.
You even logged back onto FGO when Calamity Jane came out, didn't you?
Yes.
Calamity Jane wearing a tiny miniskirt?
Yes. She's got
No.
a cheerleader outfit.
Yeah. I can ninja it.
Well, it's not really a cheerleader outfit, but she does wave pom-poms around when she uses her skills.
Enough.
So, yeah, I have what I consider, like, the most normie of, fetish is the wrong word.
Tastes.
But, like, tastes. Yes, that's a good word. Like, you can't get more normie than an American cheerleader. But it is a very strong taste for the American cheerleader. So when I saw a doggy girl in a cheerleading outfit, I was like, yes, we're downloading that and giving it a shot.
Rigby stalks this floor.
We got a witching, yep. We got a storms, yep. We good.
Why is it, as you said doggy girl in feeling outfit? I immediately thought.
Maybe. The doggy girl part was less important than the cheerleading part.
Yes.
So yeah. Initially I didn't expect to get attached to the story part of the game. But I've actually wound up really liking all the characters so far that I've encountered with it. They're all very interesting. And not interesting in the they're interesting in the typical tropey way these games make the girls, but they're very bouncy is a good word for it. They have a whole lot of
yeah, is it a good word for it though? Because you need to think about what genre we're talking about here.
This is a gacha game. Bouncy
yeah, when
means
you
something
refer to a
completely
girl in a gacha game as bouncy, it usually means something extremely specific.
Yeah, not boing boing, not that type of bouncy, but instead thinking more along the lines of they're very animated.
Okay, that's a bit better way.
They have a lot of character that is very expressive. They're very energetic girls.
Okay.
In fact, this game has a very clear divide in the age gap between the girls, or the age gap of the girls, and that there are very young-looking girls and very not-so-young-looking girls. So quite a few of them are definitely not...
It's all little sisters and big sisters.
Yeah.
An imp again.
That's fine. We got lethargy, so I should be able to pop him. Yeah. If he's got lethargy, you can pop him pretty safely without having to worry about what he turned into. So, while he's low on HP, might as well. No, there's no reason to pop off.
I'm more thinking overall class experience. Deep dungeon experience.
No, that doesn't matter. It just matters
Yeah,
that you cleared the floor.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't get the XP for kills.
Alright.
Yeah. So yeah, I've enjoyed the little bits. I've got attached to a few of the girls. The starter girl is an accountant, and after having to deal with the government and taxes, I sympathize with absolutely every plight she has. And her very first character event is don't get hit by Scythe-tail, don't get hit by Scythe-tail, don't get hit by Scythe-tail. Oh, you're dead. Oh, you actually survived.
Joe.
I forget you're a tank now.
Yeah.
So you have tank privilege. I don't think I tagged in time. Nope.
That's already missed.
No, he hit me. I got in too deep. So yeah, I sympathize with every little plight she has and exasperation she has with the sensei, who I was actually surprised to find has a actual character. Like, he's your faceless gotcha protag, but he's also got a character that's set. This whoops. I didn't mean to pop the sight there. I meant to use strength, but okay. Since we've used it, might as well go get the silver chest in there. I'll let y'all finish killing that thing. I'll see if I can hinge the silver chest. Is there a landmine in here? Let's take a look. See. I'm almost certainly going to aggro a Beost at the very least. Oh no, I think I'm good. I'm good.
Okay.
Oh, I got a dragon.
Oh.
I'm taking him for a walk. He's gonna be breathing at me in a sec. There we go.
Yeah. Where you going?
I'm taking him for a walk. Did you find another dragon?
Oh. Yeah, I think it's...
But yeah, I've enjoyed her. I'm terrible with names in general, so I've already forgotten most of the characters' names. Hibiki, though, is the cheerleader dog girl. I've attached to her a lot. Partly because she's a good unit for somebody first starting out, because the way you get 3 stars is the speed you clear the maps. Having all the girls survive, and that's it, to get the 2 extra stars in addition to, you cleared the map. She's an artillery character, and her basic version is a support character that doesn't actually show up on the field. It sits in the back row and just rains down artillery on the enemy. Well, we've already cleared most of the way to it. Might as well keep chewing. And that's fun. But her cheerleader version shows up on the field, and the little canister she carries around her pom-poms in is an artillery mortar that shoots pom-poms.
Okay.
That will just annihilate infantry units. It costs a buttload of juice to use, because you're instead of having a union burst on your characters, you build up a team union burst meter, and each character's union burst costs a certain amount from that meter. And hers costs 7 out of the 10 that you can potentially save up. It takes a while to save up for it, but you can just delete an entire infantry wave.
Pom-poms.
Yes, with pom-poms.
D. I suppose that... What kind of game is it exactly?
It is very similar to Pinecone in its play style, in that it is an auto battler with a bit more control of the skills than Pinecone has. You don't have Blackest Night going this time. You gotta watch that side tail. So all the girls have guns. This is a feature of this universe. I don't know why they all have guns. They also all
joy.
Yeah. They also all have halos. I don't know why they all have halos yet. I'm still getting
halos are also cool, doy.
Oh, there's that.
And the world is one giant school, basically.
Well, that's just because it's an anime game.
Yeah, because anime fans are all like us, longing for their lost youth.
Nope, I don't want to mess with that.
There we go. Just got a new plus 60. Red block.
Ooh, you got the weapon of plus 60?
Physical, model's the same, it's just...
Yep. So, you go into battle, and you can field 4 active units. And these are the units that show up on the field and do, stuff. They shoot the enemies, they get shot at by the enemies and do stuff, and you can field 2 support units. And what a unit is registered as, it's either detailed as a support unit or as a field unit. So it can only do one, depending on who it is. Now, some of their costumes flip this, like Hibiki. Her basic version is a support unit that sits at the back and will throw artillery without being on the screen. And her main one has a mortar cannon on it that attacks with pom-poms. but she's actually on the field when she's shooting the pom-pom cannon and can be shot back. And you can set up your team to have, your tank. I use the accountant girl as my tank because she can have a little energy shield that she can deploy around herself. I use I have the swimsuit character that I got from the gacha because apparently they're not limited. As one of my characters who has a sniper rifle and sits in the back and can plunk off the heavy armor targets. And I got another girl that has a standard rifle that I forget her. She's the least interesting in my group. That I'll save that before the boss. I can't interrupt that, by the way.
Oh, no, neither can I. Oh, crap. Off.
We got patrol.
Monkey!
Don't. Scythe tail, scythe tail, scythe tail, scythe tail, scythe tail.
This time I can't black it.
Yeah, you got no buttons to survive the stun.
I got, well... Oh.
Okay. I was just poking my head in here to see if there was an easy chest to get to. I don't actually care about that room. I can't Peloton either, so we're moving at normal speed.
Peloton?
Into the...
Scythe tail. But yeah, it's an interesting game. I think the gameplay works fine for what it is so far. I don't have exactly a in-depth dive into the game here. I've got a couple evenings of poking around at it and trying to dump my stamina in vain because I keep leveling up too fast, as you do with these games early on.
The beginning of Pinecone.
Yeah.
Where I was kept, that was all just going into my box.
Yeah. It's a lot of the systems are ripped clean from Pinecone. The big one and most obvious one is the character shards mechanic. This is just pulled straight from Pinecone. You get, I forget what they're called, but they're memory shards. And you can star up your characters after you get a certain number of them, and you can... Oh,
I just stood on a trap, a very bad trap.
Oh, that's a no-no trap.
Bad.
And I don't have... Well, I've got some buttons, but I don't have half my buttons.
I got this button.
Bad. I got this button.
They're lethargy. They're lethargy. You're okay.
Still a bit of a no-no button at this.
Yeah, we should be okay. I will very slowly... They're going to be at that for a while. You got some time.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it locks me out of half of my rotation, though, because I can't go to melee range.
Just save your juice for the boss. The boss is coming up. Okay.
I'm locked completely out of a class mechanic. That too.
I'm going to go grab that strength so we can move on to the boss.
I'm going to see if I can...
Well, okay, let us go to boss.
Uh-oh.
Oh?
Uh-oh, that's very large. Oh, it was just a
yeah, it's just...
vulnerability. I didn't know what it was because I was just intent on running away from it.
I'll bust the Doga out. I'll bust one Doga out to help us kill the Tiamat. But yeah, I enjoy it. It's got the memory shard system just ripped straight out of Pinecone. It's got a derivative of the guild house system they use, which is just the Cygames guild house system. They use that in like every game except for Shadowverse that I played for them has had some variant of that system.
Cygames?
No. This is Nexon and in-house. Nexon's publishing it. Now, Nexon is really, really bad with products that they don't have the rights to, or the natural rights to. I mean, so if they own it, they tend to be okay with their global versions, is what the reports seem to be. However, do not get into a Nexon game that that isn't owned by Nexon. So if they're just publishing it in the West, the internet's opinion seems to be do your best to not play that one. But Nexon owns Blue Archive, so it is what it be. And they oh, I could not get that tactician on Vaul. Whoops. Oh well.
I did not realize I even had that.
But yeah, I'll poke at it a little bit more. Mostly because I just enjoy the characters.
Oh.
You both got worm-winged.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Nor was I.
And I just, I don't know. I like that there's a game with characters that are just fun and animated and bouncy and seem like they're having a good time or just being retarded.
That.
Oh,
This is what happens when you don't pay proper attention.
Yeah, that's okay. I can solo this boss in my sleep.
It's not a hard boss. Prone to.
I've done that boss so many times now that I could do it in my sleep.
Yeah. Give you the oceanic lag penalty.
Even then, I could probably do it in my sleep. All its crap is telegraphed like 4 seconds ahead of time.
Oh yeah, it is.
So yeah,
I got a lot of ether pool armor in that
Actually,
run.
so? Oh,
that's good. I'm gonna get me 20 more potions.
on sack.
We didn't
Elegant
get-
piece.
I used up all our intuition luck. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
By having it all show up at the floor 90s. Oh look, confetti. Yeah.
The Eureka author. Oh. If you know the fact that it's on a pink chicken.
Okay, onward to
We should break.
Well, I can't back us out now.
All right, forwards, but we'll take a break.
Yep. So here's some music, folks. We'll be right back, and I will clear the floor while they go run the bathroom and stuff. Orthobugs hit really hard, so I'm kiting the orthobug all the way outside the room so I don't get chewed on.
Freaky, watch.
We'll root the bug. Root the bug.
Go back.
I hope you didn't have our mics on while we were AFK.
No, just that last little bit where you started singing the song right after I set it back on.
Okay, good. Because I might have let a bomb drop while you were gone. Don't have a slowy thing.
Hey, back here.
I don't want him to hit the tank. I don't
Well,
want
if
him
you
to
don't
hit
have
the
tank
tank either.
stance on, then that's the way it's going to be.
I actually don't want him to hit the tank either because he heals when he hits people. So if possible, I'm going to kite the bugs.
Yeah, so I was somewhat interested in Blue Archive when it first came out. It's like, oh well, this has got interesting mechanics and it's got an interesting look to it, and so on and so forth. But I can't handle another gacha, I don't think.
Yeah, the
I
big
mean,
thing
I might poke at it, but I don't think I'll stick to it. I poke at a lot of gachas. Like I still have Girls Frontline and Azure Lane and Arknights all installed on my phone. So, and
Yeah.
Pinecone, I guess.
I'm keeping it there until the shutdown. I'll check the guild the last day. I may say something.
Is this going to be like? Is this your form of cope?
Possibly.
It's like, oh, well, maybe Cygames will announce something at the last second.
Hey.
Well, it's more I would like to have it around so I can the Mirror Knights of Patrols, and they're very dangerous.
I don't remember what was dangerous about them.
That's well.
I'm dead. I'm dead.
That's
Like,
why they're
good.
dangerous. Hang on.
Just go kill some dudes. It'll be fine.
Oh, you got him, or you need me to get him?
I'll get him.
Okay, while you get him, I'm getting the other Mirror Knight. I hope he doesn't res face on the Mirror Knight.
I'm transcendent anyway.
So yeah, it's worth a poke. I've really enjoyed the story and characters so far. It's just very silly. It's very lighthearted. It's kind of what I need after Pinecone.
But it doesn't have Cygames production values, and that's deeply sad.
Yeah.
But nobody can really equal that. Like, there's nobody in the gacha space who does that.
Yeah, Cygames just has all the dollary dues they could ever want, and they got the motivation and the team to put it together, and they're the most generous gacha company that I can think of. Like, Cygames gacha games are special for a reason, and that's part of the reason why Pinecone going away is so sad.
Yeah, well, the thing is that they are a proof case that you can be generous and not completely tank.
Yeah.
But when you've got Crunchyroll making sure that you fail for you, I mean, what can you really do?
Yeah. But
the problem is that Cygames often doesn't bring their stuff to the West, and this is just going to give them more excuse not to, which is very frustrating to me.
there has been a good bit of copium from a leaked Cygames recruitment poster that said they're hiring for an English translation to Pinecone.
That'll get the copium.
Well, it's listed alongside Shadowverse and one of their other properties, Grand Blue, that already have English translations.
Yeah, I mean, the reality is that this will, if nothing else, this will have taught them that in-house is the only real way they can go and feel safe when it comes to English.
Yeah. Well, they've got the dosh to push it. If they think they can make the product viable in the West, I think they'd do it. Be careful, that comes out fast.
Is
The
there still a combo bonus for enchanted? For the enchanted melee abilities? Because they don't seem to have the little outline that combos usually do when they're enchanted. I'll have to tinker with it.
yeah, I'd have to.
It says so in the tooltip, so I presume it does. It's just
Yeah.
it doesn't look like it anymore. Because it used to be 1, 2, 3, but now you can charge your stickers with it. With any one of them. It doesn't matter which. Presumably to allow Moulinet to charge them.
Yeah. So yeah. But as far as Blue Archive goes, give it a poke. See what you think of the characters in the story. Maybe it's something to look at occasionally. I don't think it can fill the. I don't think it's going to fill the same niche as Pinecone just because the loading screens are too long.
Yeah, well, and also I don't really feel like I don't really trust many gacha game makers to make a world as charming as the one that was in Pinecone. Like it's quite an easygoing sort of setting, generally speaking, which I don't really feel like a setting where everybody is armed to the teeth quite will work the same way.
Yeah, it's Blue Archive definitely has got a bit of wackiness going on with that.
I mean, it's not going to be as bad as Arknights, where like literally half the cast is dying of cancer, but
And the rest are just
pretty much. Well, the thing that really put me off about the story and setting of Arknights was actually the character names. Like, I just found them to be sort of oversimplistic and cringe.
is
Well, everybody's depressed all the time because everybody's dying of cancer.
everybody wears
So,
black. The world's going to hell, and there's happy end guys.
like, it's I don't dislike the setting in some ways as far as post-apocalyptic settings go, but literally everything that happens there is a downer.
Yes.
Like there's no hope spot. There's just sort of like Amiya desperately trying to maintain a stiff upper lip. Like, good on her, but she never asked for this.
She didn't ask for this. She didn't want this.
Like the anime of it, for instance, it just ends on like it ends at the end of like one of the most downer early arcs of the story. It's just that's incredibly depressing, and there's no hope to be found. And I looked up what happens later in the story, and what happens later in the story is that it just gets more depressing. Like it just goes downhill from there. But
Yeah.
they decided that things hadn't been downer enough, so they excavated a new basement.
Yeah, I could deal with depressing stories. I quite like depressing stories, but only if they have a sense that through all of this, there is a chance hope can win.
Yeah,
Or at least that it had been worth it. At least that it had been worth it.
Yeah.
But the sort of overriding theme of Arknight seems to be, and this might not be the intended theme, but the theme seems to be that everything is pointless.
That everything is terrible forever.
Yeah, it's like the characters are all written as sort of like the central characters are, essentially they're optimistic do-gooders, but it never seems to pay off for them. It really doesn't. It always just seems to be, so now you can add another trauma to your extremely lengthy list of traumas.
Run. Don't get particle collided on.
Well, I don't know how big it is because I was facing the other way now. Thanks.
It's not very big. It's small to medium.
Patch
Somewhere between 8 and 10 yalms.
Alright.
But well,
Game, I think.
yeah, we gotta stretch the weeks a bit more, I think. But
No, we don't.
okay,
Is there? Because you're gonna have to supply all of it.
yeah, because I just threw the first things I could find in there. And most of it's continuation of Pinecone Cope.
Yeah, that's fair. Admittedly, the game developer nobody seems to care.
That's because with each passing year, conferences become less relevant.
Oh, Fern.
You are minimum, Fern.
Teensy.
Goodbye, Fern.
You're miniature.
Okay, we killed it before Needle Spacer got off.
Yeah. Back.
You need to find an owl to step on while you're tiny.
Make the super tiny owl. But
Harry.
one thing I don't think I've done a very good job explaining Arknight's story other than just the tone of it.
Well, do you mean Blue Archive? Because you said Arknights.
Yeah, Arknights. I meant Blue Archive. Y'all were talking about the yeah. Anyway,
Land of Depression.
yeah. So the thing with the best way to exemplify the story so far has been the first story arc. That's an actual story arc and not the event story arc, which is the engineering club attempts to make a cheerleading robot, and it all goes pants. The first main story is the sensei gets a letter from the Foreclosure Task Force, a club at one of the schools at this giant campus of many schools.
Who forms a club like that?
The school has a foreclosure club?
So, the reason they're the Foreclosure Club is because they are the last club that's hanging around in this area of school that's about to get shut down, and they keep getting raided by people that are crazy little girls in little funny engineering hats. And you have to fend them off while finding a way to pay back their $9 million US after you convert it debt that they've got that they had to take out from loan sharks because of all the damage to their school, their area of the school, and all the shenanigans that ensue. And eventually,
like Kazuma's crew.
Yeah. So all the girls have a very interesting personality, including one of them that totally doesn't like the sensei for whatever reason. And she goes and doesn't want anybody to find out about her part-time job she's working to try and pay off the $9 million debt as a waitress at a diner. And then oh, goodness gracious me. How bad is this one? Mirror Knight first. Stay out of range of the spider and the Lamia and kill the Mirror Knight first. Oh, don't get Hexite either. Okay, Mirror Knight dead. Now the spider.
Teensy. Tiny.
Okay, we fixed it. Hey, we got a bone. Hey, we got a dread out of it. I'll take it.
That's a good trade.
And a safety. So right now in the story, we're going to rescue her from the pig-headed engineered helmeted girls because they have kidnapped her from her part-time job so that they can the area of the school can continue to be foreclosed on for whatever reason.
There's just
But why is everybody carrying a gun?
Yeah, we don't know why everybody carries a gun. We don't know why they.
Is there implied to be a reason?
I have not uncovered one yet.
No, I'm not asking if you know the reason. I'm asking if it's implied that one even exists.
Not yet.
That's fairly standard for this sort of game. Is like, is there a reason? No, there is not.
We'll figure it out later.
Maybe.
Here's the reason. Okay, swing is point blank AoE, swipe is cone.
Yep.
Make sure you do not point him down the hallway. That's a swing, it's point blank. Oh no.
What? Look how far away I am.
I'll find the beacon and return.
I was literally an entire room's length away.
Yeah, you're way.
It's my...
I wasn't. I
Oh.
was bone man. No,
My IP tunnel's not on, that's why. Forgot to turn it on after rebooting my computer.
We'll fix it after this floor set. I'm going to go hunt for the beacon and return because I don't have Phoenix down on me. So while I do that, I guess we can keep moving on there. It's just a very fun little story. Even though the situation they're presenting is everybody's sad because the school's going to get foreclosed on or whatever, all the characters treat it like this is a serious situation, but they're all just total dorks. And so it just kind of works. It just works.
there is another gacha game a while ago, which is Tower of Heaven. There's options out there for a new. Blue Archive sounds like it could scratch that itch.
Except for the loading times.
Except for the loading.
Yeah,
I guess the stages, generally speaking, in design are a lot more complex than the ones they have in Pinecone, aren't they?
Yeah, you have to actually place a bunch of your abilities.
Pinecone, half of the time, it was like, get the game going and then put it.
Yeah, you can't really... You can set it to auto with Blue... not Blue. Yeah, Blue Archive. But you're at the mercy of a very retarded computer.
I suppose the key points, though, with a gacha are, number one, how generous are they with the premium currency? Number two, how is the power distributed amongst the characters? So,
yeah.
do you get enough premium currency to actually keep up with the meta, or are you guaranteed to be left behind and be unable to play once the difficulty level goes up if you don't spend money? And number two are the unlimited characters that you can get plenty of, are they able to be raised to the power level of characters that are limited or of a higher rarity?
Yes, you can raise up the characters, and they do appear to scale all the way up to maximum rarity in terms of their stat line. So you can continue to get character shards and scale them that way. Amount of primo currency, initially they're very generous, but every single one of these games is like that, so I can't tell you long term. That'll be something, if I keep poking at it, I can answer. But that's something you need to play the game a bit to really get a feel for. Where is that stupid beacon in this room? Oh, it's over here. So, don't know the answer to that one yet. Power distribution amongst the characters normally. Some characters just straight up outclass others right now, and it does seem to shuffle a bit as updates come through when I looked up how the meta shifts, much like Pinecone did. Everybody
do they have a unique equipment / 6-star system that will allow them to revitalize characters that have long since fallen by the wayside?
I do not know. Didn't look that far into it.
Are there any of the characters like free but god tier like Yukari?
Yes, a few of them are really good, but I forget who they are because I'm terrible with names.
Well, the question is really like, can you actually feasibly, without having to spend a huge amount of time, put together a roster that's actually workable throughout the entire course of difficulty of the game? Because I know that there's a lot of people who always say for every gacha, every character is usable, but there's only truth to that with various caveats, and you can see a lot of games lift the difficulty level when they realise that the meta has become too powerful. Like, for instance, the introduction of break bars in FGO was simply a reaction to the power level that Buster Crit had gotten to, and the introduction of stages where there could be lots and lots more enemies per stage, or the introduction of stages where there were less enemies per stage, were reactions to relative amounts of looping power and that sort of thing. So the game design meta changed in accordance with character power meta to the point that while you can clear everything with bronze and silver servants, it's something that the designers actually test for FGO. You're gonna have a heck of a time coming up with a good strategy because it's not going to be very easy.
Yeah, you're going to be pushing it. Etheric displacement, point blank, forearming, everything in front of it. Get behind it.
Oh crap! I couldn't tell which was the front.
Still pretty. It's blades all hard to tell.
You got to look at the nipple.
Yeah, I was looking for the nipple, but there's a lot of bloom on my screen, you know. See these glowy things amongst these cables? Yeah, they are a lot bigger on my screen than they are on yours.
Let's get the Minotaur and just pull him into this room.
I'm scared of them now.
Point blank. Cone.
There you go. And they're supposed to be done.
Mimic. Haven't seen one of these in the whole time we've been in here. They've been pretty good so far. So yeah, it's hard to tell as early as I am. I haven't put that much time into the game, maybe about 3 hours. But yeah, it's something I've liked poking at so far. There was a patrol that went this way. I don't know if he kept going. No. No, maybe he didn't go that way. Oh, there he is.
Oh, him. Oh, that's fine. Turn around then.
Yeah, he doesn't care.
I
what-
care significantly. I care. I care if he turns around.
The whole idea was trying to tank them and like that is, don't turn around. You turn around.
No, they just pick somebody and go chew on them.
That's actually a thing I've tanking in. That facing things in all mechanic doesn't require so much anymore. Something's going to cone the raid, it's going to turn around and cone the raid.
You still want to get in the habit of spinning things away from people for positionals.
Yeah.
You want to give the melee as much room to work with for dodging stuff as possible when the mob isn't sitting there casting something.
Well, it's not even just that, it's that everybody expects you to. So they're going to be thrown for a loop if you just decide, no, you're going to staunchly point the guy the opposite direction to the way every other tank in the game points him.
Yeah. In general,
so,
because positionals are a thing, you still want to present the butt to
You gotta slap them cheeks.
them cheeks.
So yeah. What else? Oh, I did play Stranger of Paradise.
Oh, Chaos!
I've got like
Chaos!
Gotta kill Chaos, Jack. Jack, we gotta kill Chaos.
What have they got against Chaos anyway? What did he do to them?
Chaos.
I don't know.
Chaos did chaos.
So Vaul watched me do like the third mission in the game. And that's the whole game so far. Is a whole lot of Jack. We gotta kill Chaos, Jack. Jack. Point blank.
Wasn't sure on that.
Cone.
So we saw
And,
the trailer at
so-
3, I think, a few ago, and it was just nothing but people saying chaos over.
Yeah,
Instant meme power.
Instant meme.
The story, it honestly downplays how much they talk about how much they want to kill Chaos when they get in the game. They don't give a real reason for why they want to kill Chaos. Not yet, anyway. But Chaos is
It's really,
bad
really
dude.
important to them.
So what? The trailer actually undersold how much they carry on about chaos?
Yes, every conversation, Jack is thoroughly uninterested if it does not involve killing chaos. All right, standard Chimera bullcrap. Get ready.
Man.
Run in. And they usually alternate, so run out. So yeah, the gameplay is very clearly not in-house Squeenix because it looks like Neo, it smells like Neo, it feels like Neo, and it plays like Neo.
So what you're saying is it's Neo.
Yes, with a whole lot more weapons and a
Except
whole
the
lot
bad
more
guys,
classes.
they all look like Gacked.
Well, the one bad guy you've seen has looked like gay. One of them was a gay pirate.
No, look, every Nomura
Point
bad
blank.
guy looks like Gacked. I don't know if he's a fan of Gacked or if he hates Gacked.
Cone.
Probably both.
Patrol. Careful fighting him on this slope. It can make his crap hard to read. Forearming. So yeah. Gameplay is mostly I want that silver chest.
That
Pull its
is
Minotaur.
room full of Minotaurs. Not going in there.
Point blank.
He's line of sighting me somehow.
Oh yeah, you got those
He's in
little
the-
lips. They'll break lines.
Ooh. Yeah, he died just in time. We may have to go play with the Minotaur room.
A lot of Minotaurs.
And it depends on if this is the exit. Oh, we got a few more rooms this way. I'll go check. Hug the right wall when you come in here, otherwise you're going to aggro the Chimera.
And the Minotaur.
And the Minotaur.
This is the exit room, but there's a Chimera in here. Deal with the Reptoid first. He's in the way. The Impuse is sound aggro, by the way. I'm going to go ahead and pull the Chimera while my robot's still going. Run in. He's dead. Okay. Take that. So yeah.
Unless you got for chaos.
So the one thing I really like about the game is the raw amount of classes that are available. There's something like 50 classes you can eventually unlock.
Ow, that's actually kind of nuts.
Yeah,
To
with-
kill chaos with, I guess.
Yeah, with
Yes.
with all kinds of ways you can mix and match the skills from various classes for cross-classing. It's just in general a very overwhelming amount of stuff, but in a good way.
Okay.
So was a big fan of that. Get that patrol. If I'll nab the patrol. I got.
Wait for him to come back here. And we'll...
I got him. But yeah, the just sheer amount of crap you can do is fun. It has the same kind of Neo fluidity as a lot of the combat. Animations flow very well together. They really feel like they click. Just get the Chimera. It's proximity aggro. We can't avoid it. Run. Okay, probably run in right after. Okay, we're good. But yeah, it's ooh, that's not good. But yeah, not a whole lot to talk about with it yet. But look, I'll talk more about it once I've got a better finger on the game and have put more time into it. But it was $40 on Steam, and it has a few minor technical issues with it on the PC port, but otherwise people are able to actually play the PC port. So it's just like, yeah, okay, $40, I can do that.
For this day and age, having a PC port actually work is.
Yeah, I'm gonna save that strength and carry it to the next floor.
I might check it out, especially if it's like it sounds like the whole plot is just chaos.
It is completely stupid. It is totally stupid, and it is stupid and knows it's stupid. It plays it with a straight face, so it comes off as really narmy, but it loops right back around into so bad it's good, and it knows that's exactly what it's doing the whole way through.
All games need to do that. If they're stupid and they know they're stupid and they lean into their stupid, that's fun.
This one doesn't so much as lean into the fact it's stupid as it just keeps on going anyway.
Okay.
It's a weird... in for a penny, in for a pound.
Yeah, pretty much. They had to know that they were onto a stupid thing after the reactions to that trailer.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think that's really what those early trailers are for, though, right? They're to gauge how people see your product, so that you can make your fine adjustments in the way the product is delivered. And we've seen that have both good and bad effects. Good effects on things like what was it? There's a particular example. Oh, God Hand is the famous example. Yeah, where it was not originally intended to be what it became. But people liked the sort of absurdity so much that they just like, you know what, we're going full retard on this particular strategy.
Yeah, and the world is a better place for it.
Don't.
Well, the world is not so good of a place for the fact that it's basically impossible to get the game. But
well, yeah, I mean,
like your options are raise the black flag or raise the black flag.
Yeah, there is. Yeah, there is no getting that game legitimately. It is gone.
Yeah. It's so good. Just the ridiculous combo system in that game alone is.
Yeah. So that's one thing in Stranger Paradise that they kind of taken a bit of God Hand. Any new ability, the way you use abilities, you have an ability each class has when you just press the ability button. And this is locked to the class. And it will be that button no matter what. Hang on, what was in this room?
That was
just a
steel.
chest. Okay, I'll pop a steel. Since push comes to shove, I can solo the boss if everything goes pear-shaped. But the way you use your other abilities, you'll have a basic attack button and then an ability button, and at any point in your basic attack chain, you can interrupt it for a special ability. But where in your basic attack chain you interrupt the combo, you can adjust what ability comes after it, and you can just assign any ability you've unlocked to that slot. Get that Chimera out of the way. He's proximity aggro. We're not getting away. I was going to try and save juice, but not with a Chimera there. And a patrol. Be wary of traps if we get multiple Chimeras. I'm going to have to... On a luring trap, I'm going to have to blow a palm. Oh boy. Silver chest and an Impulse that sound aggro.
What does Kneeling Sniff actually do?
It runs behind you and punches you across the room.
Yeah.
I don't want that.
Don't really want to
nothing.
There's Chimera in there anyway. I don't want to clear it in there. Use what we got left on our strengths. Save the Doga.
I think I will check out Paradises. It just sounds like dumb fun.
Yeah, they really
any
got.
idea how long it is, like in total?
Nope, no clue. I looked up nothing about this game. It was $40 and bought it on a whim.
It kind of passed me by.
Just FYI, Ari's going to have to do callouts for this fight because I don't remember any of it.
Get moving, move. Don't step in your friend's twisters. All right. Position yourself so you're not blocking off the safe spot with the upcoming.
I don't know what that means.
Just
I just blocked off the safe spot.
You did.
I told you I don't know what that means.
It's okay. It's livable with. Oh, I'm in trouble. I was not angled correctly at all. That's okay. I got sustaining potions. Twister.
Even if you say the name, I don't know what that means.
Twister means somewhere in the cast. It will drop a bomb underneath you and you need to be moving. Okay, dive bomb plus Twister. Twister is hidden cast, so just don't stop moving.
Oh boy! Oh well, that's not an instant kill like it is during the raid. Okay, it's fine.
Yeah, I took the hit from it too, rather than get twisted on. How long's my robot been ready? No, I threw it out at the start, but
Now.
Oh no. This is going to go badly for me. It did go badly for me.
both heal got windburn. That for Kerr.
Oh, dead apparent.
Oh, you got twisted. It should die to this wildfire. It'll die before it can get the mechanic off. We're good.
There we go.
Vulcan ratio. Yeah, taking a healer in here, no point.
Right, can I go turn on my IP tunnel? Is that a thing I can do here?
Yeah. Let's exit. Let Vaul go IP tunnel, and then we'll get set up for the next floor set.
Yeah, getting killed when I was 22 yalms away from the edge of the telegraph was really upsetting to me.
Biggest thing.
You got a link for that? Because we don't have it in show hosts.
It's kind of all over the place. Yeah, the other thing is, of course, pinecone stuff. Basically, the long and the short, Wizard and Civil Coast had their, I guess they call it their conference thing, where basically they invited a whole bunch of content creators, schmooze.
Schmooze?
Yeah, it did not go well. Now, there was a lot of technical, only that it wouldn't, this sort of thing, technical issues are going to happen. But, long and the short of it is, first and foremost, is what they announced, and so is how they announced. What they did, basically presented this big corpo thing where thing where you invite a bunch of influencers at them hours and then send them on there. A good word of your product. That sort of. But yeah, the D&D doesn't work like that. A lot of the content creators are basically grown up and created their start literally in their parents' basement. And they got questions. And started with the and okay, why? And there were no answers to. Had lots of questions about the new content. Said either. What they did announce, they opened their D&D. That's what it. It's basically
Yeah, because people who are really into playing games with pen and paper at the tabletop really want to while away all their time in Minecraft.
Exactly. So that was basically an embarrassment, right? They spent a lot of time peddling their new virtual tabletop. Now, the idea it's bad. It's very, it's very pretty. It's
very cribbed from their competitors.
Well, in a lot of cases, yes. But I think the way they advertise it is bad. The way they did it is they had a bunch of people all sitting around a table, every single one of them playing on their laptops. They even had dice on the actual table. And that's not...
Yeah, you're kind of supposed to, be sharing an experience, not having one within the confines of your device.
Yeah. By and large, if you're all in the same place and you can, playing, game you shoot is the way to do it. It becomes a very social activity doing it.
But it sounds like they're trying to make socializing redundant.
Yeah. So they showed all this footage of people playing D&D on this virtual tabletop, except no one was talking to each other. No one actually looking at each other. Everyone was looking at their laptops. And this was even during the scripted promotional. So it's like, you guys don't know what product you're actually.
Just
if I had the choice, I would love to play tabletop RPG. Actually, not an option for me.
Yeah, it's too hard these days to find people in your local area and get them together unless you're in a big city.
Yeah,
and I'm not moving to the big city. It's not happening.
I mean, I live in a big city and I'm still not willing to do it. And most of the people that I know who do play they're not willing to really go outside of their clique that they've been playing with for years. Like, the thing with D&D is that it tends to be insular by default. Yeah. And so they are not wrong in a cynically strategic fashion in wanting to make the game more insular. However, that's really not what it's about.
To really kind of push the benefits of virtual table, they should have been leaning on the biggest benefit all over the world coming together.
It would be advertised to some. We're basically saying, and I don't like the wording I'm going to use here, but I can't really think of a better way to say it. We're asking for them to advertise something to us because we're the ideal target for this.
Yes. Yeah, that was not the biggest bit of cringe. We'll come to that in a moment.
I think are they just forgetting the fact that Neverwinter Nights already exists and it has DM tools and all that stuff?
Yes.
Like, the thing is that we've done this before and people didn't really want to do it. Yeah. The whole D&D on a device thing. Like, it's true that the Neverwinter Nights implementation was primitive and cumbersome. However, it still had a niche audience, but did not exactly take off like a rocket. And the simple reality is that that's not what people wanted out of D&D.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Biggest thing. Imagination. And having the virtual tabletop layout and showing everything that's going high definition, Unreal 5D.
Well, it's not even just that. It's that you're going to trap people into licensed IPs.
Oh, they're
Your
already
licensed
trying that.
IPs. Yeah. No. What I'm saying is that all you're going to do is narrow the definition of what D&D is. Like their ability to make sales is not based on their IP. It just isn't. They maybe they're under that delusion, but like Ari said over and over again, D&D for most people is just a gateway drug, and the reality that they need to face is that Forgotten Realms is also a gateway drug. People lose interest in it very, very, very quickly.
Setting Forgotten Realms is
Right, so Greyhawk is even more vanilla than Forgotten Realms. That was like the classic D&D one before Forgotten Realms came along. There are still some people who have a passion for Dragonlance. I don't know if people still play games in Dragonlance. Maybe they do.
Dragonlance has been dug up, and
but part of the reason that people get stuck in the world of Pathfinder more than they get stuck in the D&D IPs is simply that the Pathfinder is like basically a more vibrant version of Forgotten Realms, where everything has just a little bit more depth and detail to it. Yep. Because I don't think that I think that WotC has a delusional idea about how good Forgotten Realms is as a setting because it's being muddied by other factors like the flexibility of their game engine as a gateway device.
And Forgotten Realms is also... There's an S rank that just popped, by the way.
Go do that.
This in way.
Hey.
Let's see if we can get it.
That sounds like a lot.
A Grip of the Mighty at 1014.
Oh yeah. That's all right. I'm about to delve further in. The next bit of cred, after all their big announcements of our 1D definitive D, every edition now on.
Don't they typically say that about every release?
Yes, and like every other release, dying. They're not calling it 1D anymore. They're not even.
Oh, they've changed the name.
Yep, they're not even calling it 60. They're not even calling it 5.5e. They're just calling it 5e now.
Wait, what E were we up to? I thought we were up to 5e.
Yeah.
Well, so they're just going to retcon?
Largely, yes. They're just going to call it the new iteration of 5e, which is going to confuse everyone.
What? Isn't there a version number? I thought it was a version number.
Nope, just 5e.
But if they haven't
delete everything in a way that came before it, and
if their intention is to try and look even more disconnected from reality than they already do, this is an ideal way to do it.
I haven't gotten to the cherry on the cringe. We'll get there. Don't worry. It's a big steaming. But
if it's the thing I'm thinking of.
Oh yeah, it's a stinker.
It might be half a cherry. You get the joke?
Why? Why you do this?
I've had a couple drinks, so I can't follow the conversation.
Yeah, that's
all
right. We'll get there.
Because remember, I haven't had anything to drink for the entirety of Lent, so my tolerance is completely shot. I'm back to real Asian hours now.
I see. So yeah, I think the main reason for this is they released base rule 5 it out into the wild. The action 1D and after that has gone. I expected it to that and saying, well, that's nice. We'll be over here still playing 5e. Yeah, there's some nice 1D because nice changes. There's some dumb changes. There's some nice changes for dumb reasons. But large, it's especially when
this is a whole lot of people to bop a. Yeah, this is a whole lot of people to bop a random ass S rank in Mordona.
This poor guy's going to wish he could scale a bit higher than he does.
Wow.
Oh man, I didn't. Did I even tag him?
We did as a group.
I got
I feel
full
really
credit.
kind of bad. Like, I feel like we did a bad thing just now.
Oh, that's why. Train just arrived.
No, it's not the train. The S
It's the
rank
fact
just
that everybody is currently loitering in this area.
yeah. This is just what happens when the S ranks get posted in the Centurio thread
Yeah.
or the Centurio Discord. They just arrive in mass on whatever server has the S rank.
Yep. And yeah, the S ranks go from a very challenging fight to
I don't think I could navigate the realm change menu in time to get to one of these things.
sometimes you can't. I've
Yeah,
even tried to do fates, and sometimes people.
Yeah, I just saw the bleep bloop on the thing and it said Mordona Leviathan. I'm like, oh,
Hey, yoink!
Well, I mean, free tomestones is free tomestones, you can.
it's 100 free tomestones too. It's quite a few. 100
Uh.
poetics, 30 reds, 100 allied seals, and 50 centurio seals.
So that's just going to confuse. I think they're just paying a little people.
I think they did the opposite. I think that they proved that they don't have a clue.
Yes, they did. Exactly that.
But it really does show they don't understand what they're doing wrong. The only thing left in question is, do they not understand what they're doing wrong, or do they not understand that they're doing something wrong?
Both. So the biggest turn, binge on the whatever, is their push. And they've just arbitrarily decided that the concept of someone being half a race, of mixed race is currently racist, and have removed half orcs.
This is like virtue signaling distilled to the point where you can't make fun of a clown anymore.
Yeah, like the response universals. Congratulations so far that you.
Yeah, I expected them to like goose step out onto stage with their arms raised and then give a speech denouncing race mixing at this point.
Yeah. So
Hear ye, hear ye. We at Wizards of the Coast do not condone the mixing of the elven and human races. Yes, only purebloods will be allowed in our campaigns from here on forth.
And yeah, there's rules for making a blood race in.
To be fair, I was never a fan of playing a half elf in 3.0, 3.5.
All about or half orc.
Half orcs had their race.
Half orcs gave a lot more room for if they were going to play within like one of the IPs that are associated with WotC. Like, let's say you're going to play in Forgotten Realms. Half orcs at least gave you a bit of latitude to do something a little bit off center. Like the half orc barbarian was the generic half orc, but nobody played a half orc barbarian. They would always play like a half orc wizard or something.
That was
just
more fun.
because there's a culture clash thing, right?
Yeah.
But elves are near enough to humanity in when you deracinate them across every form of pop culture that a half elf is just a waste of your time, basically.
Yeah, I never knew anybody that played a half elf.
So basically, what they've just said is we're going to change. So instead of half orc, you now have Goliath as one.
Are they actually removing race mixing from the lore, or are they just saying that using the term half as the name for a race is the racist part?
Kind of in the middle there. They're saying that as far as I know, they're not removing any of the characters.
Yeah, so because like I know that there was a particular name for half dwarves, wasn't there?
Yeah, they were kind of.
They had a particular name. They weren't like a half dwarf. They had a name.
Yeah.
And then there's like tieflings and Asima who are, some portion of mixed blood. It's not really clear.
Incidentally, they did not decry tiefling.
Well, there are heaps and heaps of like trademark characters that are tieflings.
Yes, and considering the lore at the root came from, it rather dark.
Yeah, they probably just don't want people to think too hard about it.
Yeah. So the whole thing just smacks. Gone so far to the left that you've become the thing you'd villainize. Well done, Watson.
Well, most of them are at that point right now. In case you're wondering what I'm munching on, I posted it in live show chat. I'm munching on goldfish.
Oh, right.
You can't get those in New Zealand.
I think I've tried them once.
I love goldfish.
Didn't Gura talk about her rather unique method of eating them?
Probably, but that's good.
It was really gross. It sounded like the sort of thing I might have tried when I was 5.
Yeah, that sounds like good. Coming back to I'm actually very happy to see that a lot of people actually end up.
I've always referred to myself as half Chinese.
Yeah.
Because when I was growing up, nearly everybody in the region was full-blooded New Zealand European. There are a few that were half Maori. I don't think I knew any full Maori growing up. But they would call themselves half Maori. Like in fact, when I was growing up, the term half caste was still in common use.
Likewise, with that. Okay,
yeah, I don't.
Term's kind of falling out of favor now, but
is in America is mulatto currently a forbidden word?
Yeah. But we did call him mocha for a while.
That seems even more contemptuous, TBH.
That does, doesn't it?
I don't know if that one is verboten. Probably everything's verboten.
Yeah.
But they haven't banned them from serving them at Starbucks, so
yeah, they just add extra adjective.
Yeah,
it's like getting at.
Yeah, I am not mixed race at all. The closest thing you could do is if you dug into my family tree, it's like a goodly split mix of like Irish and England with some German and a bit of Scots folk.
Yep.
How far back in the US does your family go?
All the way back till at least the 1700s.
So not quite like Michael Knowles.
No. So no, we're not immigrants that came later. We've been here pretty much the whole time.
Michael Knowles is from the Mayflower. His family.
Oh yeah,
back to the Mayflower.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
Likes to talk about it all the time.
Yeah, I haven't been able to trace it that far back, but
I remember seeing a story about one of America's most prominent black race grifters. Turns out he also descends from someone on the Mayflower.
Yeah, I remember that too.
But
yeah, I don't have any kind of mixed race claim here. But I knew plenty of mixed race people, and they would always tell me they were half Mexican, or they were half Puerto Rican, or they were half black, or whatever.
Apparently, my mother's family during the Song Dynasty were the imperial family of China, and my father's family are normies from England and Scotland and Wales, and a little bit of German thrown in there.
Yeah, it seems to be the way you go with normie white. It's just you get a little bit of everything with maybe a little stronger leaning towards one way or the other. But it's all just you all just kind of get a blend of it.
Get a bit of everything.
So we can't. Oh, that's a form of mixing, I guess.
Well, I mean, the Celts have been trying to reassert their identity past few decades.
Yeah, unfortunately.
I mean, to quote that, well, it's not going so well for them because, like, to quote the football chant in England, "We pay your benefits, we pay your benefits."
Yeah, that whole thing was absolute.
Yeah, the thing is that they have turned themselves into a meme. That's more important than anything about the hypocrisy or whatever is the fact that they are a meme. And the last thing you want to be in the modern era is a meme. There's no coming back from that. Once you're a meme, that's all people will know you as. Which is why I was so entertained by that new Ruby meme that's going around. It was entirely astroturfed by one guy who I follow a guy who follows a guy who follows him on Twitter or something. So I sort of got to watch this taking shape. But basically, apparently they're still making seasons of Ruby, and there are still like hardcore fans of Ruby. I don't know, but this is apparently the case, and so apparently there's a scene where Ruby basically snaps in one of the recent episodes or something and blows up at the team because she's tired of being used as an emotional crutch by everybody. She's always expected to be the leader, always expected to be the positive one, always expected to be unflaggingly optimistic and can't handle it anymore. And she just explodes. And she makes this offhanded, sarcastic quip to her sister and Blake about how she's so happy for them because, you know, they've become the token lesbians for the story. And one guy on Twitter just seized on this and managed to spin this out by a whole bunch of like basically fake reactions to that scene as though she had just like said something like outrageously homophobic, as people like to call it. And he got a lot of people getting on board with it, just acting as though, like, giving reactions to the scene as though it had been homophobic. And this sort of started to grow and blow up from there. And at this point, there are more people who know it as the homophobic scene in Ruby than who actually know what actually went on in the scene. So all of the actual Ruby fans, of whom I presume there are probably half a dozen, are absolutely freaking out now. Because everybody thinks that it's the show with the homophobic main character. Because they're all woke as anything. The people are still watching that. So, but the last thing you want your property to become is a meme. And WotC have managed to accomplish that themselves entirely of their own accord. They are now the anti-race mixing company.
They are. They were all previously before that though. They were the black people. Monsters
or orcs.
Oh, that's the monster. Yeah, the whole drama around entirely manufactured within.
And you can only come to the conclusion that, oh yeah, black people are totally like orcs if you're a white, liberal, hyper lefty, insulated Northwesterner.
A raging racist, in other words.
Yes.
Yeah.
Most people looked at orcs, and thought.
I mean,
the thing is that they can't even be it can't even be that the people at WotC are geeks anymore. Like these must be just, you know, woke people who've been hired to fill diversity quotas or whatever. Because most people who are in like our age bracket, a little bit younger and a little bit older, when they hear orcs, one of the first things that comes to mind is going to be the Peter Jackson's version of Lord of the Rings, and that's what they see orcs as this distinct creatures, distinct people with their own sort of bizarre culture and behavior. Like nobody is drawing a parallel between them and anything else. Orcs are orcs. Their race is orcish, and their behavior is orcish, and their language is orcish.
Even if you step down a little bit into Nerdy Town, out of Normieville, your first reaction is probably World of Warcraft orcs, TBH.
Yeah.
What you mean? You mean like the obvious Native American XPs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got that more out of the Tauren than the orcs.
Well, it is definitely true for the orcs as well. Definitely true for the orcs as well. They use the aesthetic more heavily with the Tauren, but they definitely still They took the sort of weird tribal structure and shamanism and all of that the orcs did, which they then retconned in as being the orcs' roots. Because I mean, like originally the orcs were basically an entire race of Conan the Barbarian, right? But they retconned all of that in Warcraft 3.
Yeah.
Make them frankly a little.
And then you go step down from that in Nerdyville, and you probably got like the 40k orcs.
Yeah, that's the other.
Which are
way.
definitely English.
They're yours.
Like they're English football hooligans.
Yeah.
That's the point. They have English accents.
Yo. Right.
They literally have English accents. Come on.
So we've got 3 rungs of the potential customer base here of normie, slightly nerdy, pretty nerdy. And they somehow went way off to the side in left field and were like, yeah, orcs are black people.
But WotC's in Seattle, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, in Seattle, unless they're like part of... Well, I'll cut that off before I go there.
Don't do that.
Let's retwist this. They don't see many black people in the Northwest. So they might be this fictional creature they see on Twitter occasionally, as far as most of them are concerned.
Well, it's more that they probably don't know any, and they believe exactly what they've been told to believe, which is that the portion of America with blood of African extraction are these oppressed people to be pitied. They're not actually individuals. They're not actually real people. They're just a social group to be managed in the context of a social group. And so they behave in the sense that we need to defend this social group in an entirely abstract way, from an entirely abstract perspective, by doing entirely abstract things, because they don't really believe in real people outside of their bubble. Like, it's the same way they treat people from the deep south of the US in the exact same way, really, don't they? Except with a hostile attitude rather than a condescending, patronizing one. It's just the way it is. Like, I mean, you don't find people in New Zealand reacting to black people like that. I suppose because there aren't really any black Americans in New Zealand. The black people we have, they're all from Africa. They're like, oh well, they're Kenyans or they're Eritreans or they're Ethiopians. They're not like, oh, their skin color, or at least they weren't until very recently, when certain race-grifting politicians have tried to import American politics into New Zealand, which I'm sure is the same thing as happening in Australia as well.
Oh, it is.
After all, Lydia Thorpe's a thing.
It's Kay. Elizabeth Warren's here to tell us how Indian she is. How Indian she is.
Because her cheekbones are high.
Like every female that's ever existed in human history.
Right, Fern, drag us back on track.
Alright, I think that's enough of that nonsense. So yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, well, then that's the other problem with their sodding programs. Like, I know I'm never going to be able to, because I will actually RSDL into Oblivion. But the only thing is I want to play is other licensed IPs, like or something that's pure homebrew. I have no interest in playing classic fantasy tabletop RPG at all anymore. Like, it's just that phase of my life is over. I'm not really that interested. I would rather play something from like 40k. But I can't do that if they want to tie their entire ecosystem into something which is, WotC licensed IPs. So their product is just a non-starter from the very beginning.
Yeah, actually, back when this news first started popping out with the OGL, I started working on a new setting, and I've got something that's starting to nail down. I haven't had the time to really... Well, I had the time last month, but I played Eureka Orthos instead. But... into this month, I should have some time, though. Hopefully, if work doesn't explode.
fun. We should.
Yeah, I've got to nail down Yeah, I've got to nail down a story for it, but I've got a setting that I like.
Yeah.
With a way to be more expansive than the last the last setting I had, where everybody was very limited in the amount of creative use of superpowers they could have. This one has a much more generalized magic setting, with much more room for a character expansion and what they can do.
I've actually seen a lot of burbling on Twitter about tabletop recently, and it seems like there's some kind of civil war going on in the tabletop community as a whole.
Kind of is,
yes. I'm not really sure where it comes from, or if like one of the sides is completely astroturfed or what. But the most recent facet that has been crossing my time, because this has been raging for several months now, the topic seems to be different month to month, but the current one is that there is one side of people, and that all people are, these are the people I've never heard of. I don't follow them, I don't know them, and they are all like, they've come out super pro rigid narrative railroading should be the general style of games, and that everything should be based around shepherding the players into your narrative and having them participate in your story as the DM. And the old school faction, which are like, no, you should have the guts to play completely freeform. Every game is a sandbox. There's no such thing as a sandbox game. So, yeah, there seems to be like a really bitter war that's raging right now online.
Both of these people seem to have a fundamental misunderstanding of what it is to play in DM.
It does. Like, if you try and be ultra super duper railroady in your game, your players are going to break you.
Yeah, if you...
No, they will quit. More likely they will just quit.
Yeah,
because in order for that to be true, you're going to be telling them no a lot.
Yes. If you start telling your players no, they're going to leave.
Yeah, you write in the broad strokes, and you write specific key events you want them to be sure they hit. And they write the rest of the story as you play.
Yeah, it's not about telling the DM story, about giving the players complete agency. It's about building together.
It doesn't matter how hard you lean into the narrative. That general description I just gave is how every single scenario will play out.
Yeah, but you can come into it with like, you want the story to kind of go, but later it's going to go off the rails.
Yeah, it does. It does not matter what type of DM you are. You will have, I have the broad strokes of the story. I have the idealized story path that I will see them down, maybe, if I'm really feeling like writing that day. But they're going to fill in the blanks from point A to point B, and there's a lot of blanks between point A and point B.
Yeah. Being flexible, basically the biggest skill you have as a DM.
It is a group writing project, even if only one person has a piece of paper.
There seems to be this cadre of people who they don't believe that. They believe that the primary art of the DM is to trick the players into thinking that they're making real decisions.
That's a fundamental misunderstanding of how this game is played. And every game I've played has not operated that way.
Yeah.
I'm not actually making any kind of commentary on how the games actually play. I'm making commentary on, because these people are all DMs. I'm not talking about some amorphous community of people who none of them actually do the DMing, so they're just guessing at how things go. No, these are people who are setting out to do this. There's an entire cadre of people who set out to tell my story because it's cool, bro, and presumably don't understand why they can't get a party past the 4th session.
Yes.
But yeah,
it seems asking these people how long their parties have lasted.
Well, it depends on whether their party are a bunch of feckless morons who aren't actually there to play as well, because possibly their friends are people like that.
Possibly, if there's the sort of people who start spurging about Critical Role or something.
I've never seen an episode of Critical Role, so I don't know what that really means. I don't know who those people are.
Yeah, basically, they've set an unreal expectation, just not through any fault of their own.
Well, it sounds, from what I've heard about them, it sounds like they are ultimately just entertainers.
Ultimately, yeah, they are professional voice actors and entertainers playing D&D in a professional setting. And that's the key word, is professional. Your table will not go there.
Especially if you let someone bring their girlfriend.
Everybody's got they brought the girlfriend story. Or the DM got a new girlfriend.
Sometimes it works. Sometimes
No.
it don't.
No, it doesn't.
I've never actually heard of it working before.
No, it never works. It always falls flat on its face. It is a disaster when somebody brings their girlfriend. You can have a girl who is a player as long as she is not the girlfriend of any of the players or the DM. But you cannot have the girlfriend because the girlfriend will always, forever, get preferential treatment and more time from the DM. If it's the DM's girlfriend, or the player will be distracted by the girlfriend the entire time you're playing.
That, I think it might be time to wrap up. You're actually going to finish on time for a change.
So yeah, the rest of the stuff I got in there is just more pine cope.
You've been it's just been pine cope from start to finish for you lately.
Yeah,
I can't say that I'm devoid of the feeling that I wish that Games would step in and just say, no, if those guys, we're going to pick up where we left off and we're going to manage it now, not those assholes.
Great as that would be, I don't see it happening.
The likelihood is significantly higher that, pigs will fly.
Yeah, I place no amount of hope in the cope that's being posted anywhere, but I do feel a connection to the community and kind of want to see where they're at. Not that the Pinecone community is any kind of great community or anything, but it's like, now that it's all going, we all played the same game.
So I can see them grasping for every little shred of hope, though. Like when Games made that tweet asking about, who worldwide plays Games, and that's just like, this is standard marketing tweet. They aren't interested in the result or anything, but everybody's like in trying to interpret it as, they really want to see if there's a worldwide audience because maybe they'll pick up Pinecone again and make it go back live for English speakers.
I did see a post that was just Carol's tail twisted in the form of a noose with Crunchyroll in the middle of it. As a response to that tweet.
Get out of here.
All right, folks. Email topic of the week is well, you don't have one, but I will say I'll pivot on this. I saw Serathis made a character on our server. How's that going, Serathis? You're the only one that writes us. I saw in your screenshots that you're on Leviathan.
Oh no.
So tell us how that's going, and we'll invite you to the guild if we can. I don't know what level you got to be to join a free company.
I think it's only like 10 or 20.
He's a level 15 Pugalist. He's Munkin.
Because he wants to rip and tear.
And he wants to drive himself insane because monk. Hope you like them stickers. You gotta fill out that punch card.
Oh man, I dropped monk and I did not look back after I hit 90. I don't think I've punched a single thing since.
Yeah, Bard can be boring. Black Mage can be overcomplicated, but Monk is Monk.
I don't like it. I don't like it very much at all.
I don't either. So there's your email topic of the week, Serathis. How's that going? We didn't actually check the emails, did we?
We didn't.
No.
We're good at this.
Professionals. We're super professionals.
I will check and see if he sent us an email.
We're in fact so professional that we loop back around to being unprofessional, so it's hardly our fault.
You keep telling yourself that.
Off on the copium.
No. So yeah, there's that. Closing comments, and I'll get us out of here, I guess.
Crunchyroll are bad, and they should feel bad.
I'm hoping to hit 90 on my Black Knight. Dark Knight. Edgelord.
Yep.
I do that by the end of the week.
I'll join Vaul. Crunchyroll, please go commit Necro.
Get good.
In Minecraft.
No, not in Minecraft.
I thought that that's mandated. We have to say in Minecraft at the end of any kind
No,
of
I wasn't kidding when my stages of grief are broken. We backed this truck up and we're stuck at mad. Just in real life. As a company, just say you're going into bankruptcy tomorrow, please.
They probably would be if they weren't being propped up by Papa Sony.
Yeah.
Yep. Your whole studio's being shuttered. That would make me very happy.
Realistically, it should have been after High Guardian Spice.
So, oh yeah. All right, folks. We'll see you next week. Sayonara. Bye-bye.